Why, hello, good evening, my fellow horror lovers. I didn't see you come in. Boy, I've been waiting for you to return because I have a story to tell you tonight. And I feel this one is special because I discovered a diary from a secondhand store written by a woman named Sarah. This encounter happened to her and her family years ago, from what I read, but the experience is haunting her to this day. So, hey, let's get comfortable and hear her tale. Hi there, my name is Sarah. What I'm about to tell you is something that happened to me and my family years ago. It's a story that still haunts me to this day. My therapist said if I wrote this down in my diary, that will help me cope with it. I don't think so, but here I go. It was a typical night. Chloe and Jake were sound asleep in their rooms, and I had just drifted off myself, but then I was jolted awake by a loud knock on the front door. I looked at the clock and my heart sank. It was 3:33 a.m. Something didn't feel right, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it. Slowly, I made my way to the living room where the front door was located. I peered out the window and I saw two children standing on the porch. They were young, maybe around 8 or 9 years old, but something was off about them. Their faces were innocent enough, but their eyes, oh God, their eyes, they were completely black, void of any white or pupil. It sent shivers down my spine. Sarah takes a moment to catch her breath, reliving the experience before she goes back to writing. She takes a deep drink of her whiskey on the rocks and lets out a small gasp from the kick of the taste. Sarah goes back to the story and says, they asked if they could come in, but I hesitated. Something told me these children weren't what they appeared to be. Then they started to get agitated, and I thought I saw their eyes begin to glow. I knew I had to act fast. I tried to close the door, but the boy put his foot in the way, preventing me from shutting it. That's when I saw his sister at the back door, trying to get in with her own plea to be let in. I don't know what they were, but I was terrified of them. It's like they had this power over me, a power I still can't explain. Sarah stops for a moment, trying to calm her nerves, reliving this again. Even just writing things down still bothers her. Makes her remember things that she was desperately trying to forget. Sarah, I stood my ground and managed to push the door closed, but they didn't give up. They kept knocking, pleading to be let in. I could hear them at the back door too. They even tried to wiggle at the window to get inside. And the constant banging on the front door. It was maddening. Crazy even. After we managed to move from the spots we were glued to, we ran and huddled together in the living room. Terrified, we could hear the black-eyed children pounding on the door some more, still trying to get in. It sounded like they were using all their might to break it down. I quickly thought of calling the police, but I realized that the phones were located upstairs, where the black-eyed children could potentially ambush us. I knew we had to stay put and wait them out, but how long can we sit here, letting them pound on the doors? They should be able to break in before much longer the way they're going. As the sun began to rise, the sun, the sweet, sweet sun, offering us some hope. The pounding finally stopped. We still didn't feel safe enough to venture outside, so we waited for a few more hours before we finally opened the door. Nobody was there, but we knew that the black-eyed children has left their mark on us. Ooh, that's chilling so far. Days turned into weeks, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being watched. Every time I went outside, every time I was in a park, every time I was taking the kids to the school, I felt like the black-eyed children were lurking in the shadows, waiting for their opportune moment to strike. Even at night, I kept hearing tapping on our windows and scratches on our doors. I couldn't sleep. They seemed to be messing with me, carrying on, making me feel insane, and I was too scared to tell anyone about what happened. Sarah takes a deep breath, the memory still fresh in her mind, and continues to write in her diary. Sarah, eventually we moved out of that house, away from that neighborhood. But even now, even to this day, I still wonder what the black-eyed children wanted from us and what they have done if we had let them in. It's a nightmare that I can't escape from. It bothers me every day, every afternoon, every night. It preys on my mind. After a little bit of research, I later found out that these were called the black-eyed children. They have been spotted all over the world, but no one knows what they really are or what they want. Well, my little horror hounds, that was the end of Sarah's story. Though, in the continuing pages, all of a sudden you see the words being repeated. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. And that's all that was left in the diary is those words over and over and over again. Almost like that nice, lovely, calming film, The Shining, where dull boy Jack wrote all over the walls, all work, no play, make Jack a dull boy. And that's where this story ends for Sarah, her kids, and the black-eyed children. So be warned, if you hear a knock on your door late at night and see black-eyed children standing outside, don't let them in. It might be the last mistake you make. So until next time, horror hounds, keep your doors locked and your eyes open. Nightmares can become a reality, and the black-eyed children prove just that.